We're here. Took a little bit longer than we expected, but we're finally here.
We finally found a nice day.
Finally found a nice day, and the HQ is finally done, at least for this build anyway. The reason why it took a little bit longer is because off camera we did a few more things to it, just things that we had to fix up. We'll go through them shortly, but we've got all them finished now. It's the first nice day since February.
Yeah.
And we're here, and we're driving it, and it feels really, really good.
Good to be back in.
It does feel good to be back in there. It's been a little while.
A couple of things that we've done. We've put lower springs in it.
Yep.
And we've put 2.5-inch tailpipes on it.
Yep.
We're pretty wrapped with that, aren't we?
Yeah, that's turned out awesome.
I think the tailpipes and the lowered springs really finished this car off.
Yeah. So when we first did the exhaust in this, as you guys know, we did a dump to the diff, and it sounded awesome. It was really cool, but there was an issue that we had with it. It had a rasp to it. It had this weird note where it would get to about 3,000 RPM. And it would sound like a tin can rattling in the exhaust, which just didn't sound right, did it?
It didn't sound right at all. Didn't really like it, did it?
Didn't suit this type of car, obviously. So we spent some time. We changed the mufflers in it, so we went from the cheap growler mufflers that we got, which honestly weren't bad.
I think they were good.
They were stainless, they were okay.
Yeah.
Value for money wise, they were $80 a pair.
Yeah.
Then we went to Magnaflows, which are $250 a pair. No, each individual.
And it didn't make a difference.
And it didn't really make a difference. It did deepen the note a bit, but it did somewhat help. Unfortunately, we didn't get any video footage of what it sounded like, but it sounded very similar to what we're probably showing you during this video now.
Yeah.
So we did a little bit of research trying to figure out, why is it making this sound? Why does it sound like this? And one of the things that we sort of come up with, and we think it was at 3,000 RPM, the exhaust was finding its natural resonance. So it was just, the whole thing was vibrating, and that's what we reckon was causing the rasp. So in order to combat that, what we did was we actually extended the exhaust by putting on overpipes over the axles, basically. The reason why we didn't do it initially was because it's a 2.5-inch system, and the only overpipes I could find were 2-inch. And then just so happens when we were trying to figure it out, I did find a set of 2.5-inch overpipes that you could buy new. We put them on, we spent a bit of time modifying them, actually a lot of time modifying them.
It was more of a day than we thought.
Yeah, just to get them tucked up right into the body.
We've hidden the pipe as much as we can. We've tucked it right up, and we've just done a small turn down just before the end. We're pretty wrapped with it, eh?
Yeah, because we wanted to keep that, it looks so good without the tailpipes, we wanted to try and keep that clean look.
Yeah.
So we've hit them up as best we can by basically running them in between the chassis and the body, and then just a little mouse here with the rubber. And it was well worth it because it's turned out awesome.
It's turned out really good, actually.
Because you can barely see them, and the exhaust, honestly, sounds absolutely unbelievable. It's a 253.
I love the sound of it though.
Sounds good.
I think it sounds good for a 253. It's really revvy.
And that's the other thing too with this exhaust. Like a lot of people will say 2.5 inches is too big for a 253.
Yeah.
And look, it could be. Put it on a dyno, maybe we lost power. I don't know. But in the seat, it honestly doesn't feel like we lost any power. It wants to rev a hell of a lot more than it ever did, and that could be down to the tuned headers, maybe. Seems to be fine. It seems to be coping it really well. We obviously knew they were big. It was a big exhaust system for a 253 going into it, but you know, you always hear things. People say you can't do this, can't do that, but why? so why not try it and figure it out for
Exactly
yourselves?
right, yeah.
So we did, and honestly, the exhaust note that this thing makes is one of the sweetest exhaust notes I've heard of
I
anything
think it's the best thing we ever done.
Yeah, it sounds unreal. Springs wise, we put in lowered springs.
Hey, not bad.
Not bad, pretty good shortcut.
How to take out the springs the lazy way.
Out with the old. So these are KHRL 04s. So these are supposed to be, these are lowered heights from King Springs for HQ Holdens. What we're going to is a KHRL 26. And this is supposed to be the super low from the HU. So it's supposed to be 10 to 20 mil lower than the lowered springs. Now hopefully we can squeeze it back past.
Good shock.
And then I've got a time frame to get it in while the shock expands.
This is sore right now.
No!
You've only got 10 seconds to put the spring in. Or else the spring will explode and die,
Oh no, what is
causing you, your loved ones. It's over there.
Oh.
First you must find the key.
Ugh, what's hanging from the car?
What's hanging from the car? Oh, I thought it was a spider.
That was the easiest spring swap over ever.
Spring transfer.
Yeah, I suppose it's a spring transfer.
Yeah.
Where's the tapey tape? Lufkin!
No, don't get
Lufkin!
He's unreliable.
Mega reliable. Yeah. Hang on, what's your bet?
Okay, so what is it? 655.
Yeah, I reckon,
I'm gonna say 635.
I'm saying 640. I reckon it's dropped 15 mil.
Oh!
Oh, damn!
Nice work. So we've dropped 15 mil.
Yeah, and it'll probably drop another couple of mil after that once it settles a bit. So that's effectively the drop that we wanted to achieve.
Shit, that looks good. It's actually sitting level.
Let's get her outside, eh?
You happy with it?
Yeah, I reckon it's grouse because when you look at it now, going by the sun, we're using this as a sundial now. It's obviously about 9:30 in the morning. You can see the sunlight in the guard is pretty much identical on each tyre. So to me that sounds like it's sitting pretty much dead on level. And the car just looks more level now. I think it'll still obviously drop a bit more in the rear.
It's still a smidgy high in the rear, but it definitely looks better. I think it looks good though. I'm wrapped with that.
Yeah, it's turned out awesome.
So red walls and she'll look good.
Yep. Doesn't feel any different to drive. It
Yeah.
still feels comfy.
Yeah. But yeah, it feels really good. Clutch. We haven't even, that was the main thing about this car was the T5 conversion. We
Yeah.
haven't even talked about it.
So
Michael's bet in the clutch.
yeah, so I did a little bit of driving. I bet in the clutch as much as you could. And like they say, when you're betting in the clutch, you shouldn't do any big rev changes or, changing at 4,500 RPM, which I've pretty much done since I've been in the seat because it just sounds so good that I can't help it. But it is betting, it does feel good. We also changed the wheel cylinders on it too.
Oh yeah, we ended up going through the brakes as well, didn't we?
Yeah, because we found out that I'd been driving this for a fair while with only front brakes because
Yeah.
the rear brakes had no fluid in it because the wheel cylinders had leaked. That's a lot to do with it sitting around for so
Yeah,
long.
and the brakes feel better now, don't they?
They feel great. They
Yeah.
actually
So
actually
we've fixed all three pedals. We put a brand new clutch in it, right, with a T5. We fixed the brake pedal and we fixed the accelerator pedal by going to a cable.
Yeah, and it feels bloody awesome. Like
Yeah.
it really does feel good. Nathan hasn't had a driver yet. He's going to get in the driver's seat soon. We're just going up through the mountains to have a little bit of fun at the minute. But the change that it's made to this car is honestly the best thing I've done to it. When I started this build, when we first sat in these seats and we said, what the plan was, I said, I always went and grabbed the keys to the Sandman. That was
Yeah.
always the car that I would grab because it was more of the driver's car. It was more enjoyable to drive. I don't think I'll be doing that anymore. I think this is the car that I want to jump in. I want to drive because having the 5-speed makes it so much better than having that 4-speed. It shifts quickly. It shifts smoothly. I've got overdrive. It's easy to move. The clutch is light. It's no longer heavy. It's predictable. The rat trap system. There's a lot going on in the rat trap system, and the
A lot of
cable
complications.
just makes it so much more simpler.
Yeah.
And then top it off with the cable accelerator. It's much lighter, it's smoother. Again, not a lot going on with the cable as compared to all the linkages. It just works so much better, and it's honestly turned out to be a great car to drive. And for anyone that hasn't watched the beginning, no, it's not a Monaro, so I didn't ruin a Monaro. It is a Kingswood, an original V8 Kingswood, yes, but that's all it was. So I didn't kill a Monaro to make this. And honestly, Monaros don't drive as good as this.
God, it sounds good, doesn't it?
It is still loud, isn't it?
Yeah. God, it sounds good there. Thank God we got rear brakes now.
Fancy footwork.
Oh, I'm getting thrown around.
5.5.
Jesus Christ.
Woo! I'm in love.
This guy handles grouse. Doesn't body roll much, doesn't it?
No, not really. It'll be really interesting actually when we have this done and the LSQ done to see the difference between this and
Yeah.
coilovers. Just to see, I mean obviously the coilovers are going to be better.
That'd be a good comparison drive, actually.
Yeah. And also budget build versus budget build. As we keep getting reminded. That's the other thing too, which we're probably going to get asked about. How much did this cost? How much did it cost to do the gearbox conversion? I think all said and done, including buying the gearbox, buying the conversion kit and all the little things that go with it, probably around $2,500 to $3,000. The kit is on the expensive side, but it's a good kit. We got it through Dallo Conversions. The rest of it, like just servicing it, which is, you know, the first time I've had a service in a while, that's probably $400 I reckon, $400 by the time we had leads and spark plugs and all that business. Yeah, probably about that I reckon. You know, you should be doing that anyway, really. I just had a rather large interval gap. Good luck doing that in Aussie 4-speed. I can never get sick of this.
Okay.
Remember last time you were in this seat?
Yeah, I think so. Gotta get the feel for it again. Oh, it feels good.
Bit different.
Oh my God, it feels so much better.
Actually,
It has brakes. Oh,
good.
Oh my God, it stops. Oh man.
It's amazing what having all 4 brakes working will do. Like, she's still not fast.
Nah, but it's still fun though.
It's fun,
Because it handles really well, this car. I gotta get used to the brakes.
and you can actually rev it out now. It's so much more responsive now than what it ever was. It used to be so sluggish. How fun is it?
You know you're not moving fast, but it's fun.
Yeah, it's that small car theory where, you know, they say like some of the best fun you'll ever have is in a small car or underpowered car. That's what this is. It's slow, but you get to enjoy the rev range, and when you slam through the gears, it makes no difference, but it feels good.
Yeah. Oh man.
But it does everything that it should do now.
Oh God, that's fun.
And we still haven't broken the speed limit.
Oh.
That's the best bit about it. Goes to show you, if you want to have fun and still keep your license, get a 253.
Get a slow car that's loud.
Yeah. You could do it all day.
God, this car is fun now.
You could do it all day, couldn't you?
You really could.
It's a quick shift, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fun.
Like, you can actually slam it and it shifts really quickly.
Yeah, it shifts really. It feels freaking amazing. I love it.
Whereas the 4-speed was like...
Be gentle.
4-speed is like, oh, you want to change gears? Give me a second.
Let me think about it.
Yeah, I'm ready now, go. And the clutcher was like, no, I'm not going to let you do it.
Alright, 0 to 100.
Zero
Don't know
to
what it was last time, but I'm sure we can get up on the screen now.
Like 15 seconds.
Alright,
Ready?
set, go.
Maybe we'll do that again.
That was sick!
I never used to do that.
Alright,
Ready?
hang on. Ready, set, go.
Come on, girl. And 100.
Wow,
What we do?
12.
12.
Yeah.
12 second gun, not bad.
Yeah. You know what? I think you should do another though with a little Bernie. That was wicked.
So, I think that's it.
That's it for the Poor HQ.
We've been driving now for what, maybe an hour and a bit. Just
Hence why I'm saying Poor HQ.
yeah, 'cause she's been going strong. She really has. She's a trooper, this old girl. But this is sort of it for this car for a little while now. We've got some plans in the future to do with the carby and the fuel system in it, just to make it more reliable. Not so much chasing power or anything. But for the minute, we're just going to drive it as it is. It drives really well. We're wrapped in it. It's so much fun to drive.
I think we've definitely upped the game on the drivability of the car.
Yeah, it feels like a completely different car.
Yeah.
So if you were to wrap it up, would you recommend doing the T5?
If I was to wrap it up, I would hands down do the T5.
Value for money wise.
Value for money. You know, Ford is better.
I knew that was coming.
You know, all reliable Ford. You know, needs to move these Holdens along. Nah, in all seriousness, it drives 1,000,000 times better.
Yeah.
It feels great. I would hands down do it. But once again, the T5 comes down to how much power you are making,
Yeah.
how much torque and whatnot, because the T5 can only handle so much. Can't it?
Yeah. We're told, like I'm told, the T5 will handle my 308. This is well below that, so it's
Yeah.
never going to break it. But you know, there's obviously better gearboxes out there. Like you can get yourself a Celica or a Supra. Yeah, obviously it's a better and stronger gearbox, but that comes down to cost.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly
They're
right.
not cheap to get. Whereas this Falcon T5, you can pick a new one up for a few $100, if that, and you're good as gold. The ratios seem to work really well on them. They hold up for this power.
Yeah.
They fit nicely. The shifter comes through in just about the same spot. Like you've seen, we obviously had to cut the floor out a little bit, but I am told there is a different tail you can put onto it, which is the Mustang tail, and that changes the shifter to almost the exact same position as standard. I don't know. I haven't tried it, but for our purpose, this worked. It's a cheap and easy conversion. Basically, the hardest bit is probably cutting the floor.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, we didn't really have any hard jobs with this car, didn't we?
Nah. Also too, I gotta say a big thank you and shout out to my dad as well too, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have this car. When I was 15 years old, I said to my old man, you know, I want to do a HQ. He was nothing but supportive in helping me find one, build one, and basically teach me all that I know. And saying that too, I need to thank my mum too, because she put up with us. But a massive shout out to him for helping us out, because I wouldn't have this if it wasn't for him. And probably wouldn't be doing this if I didn't have this car, to be honest, because this is what started it all.
Yeah.
But thanks for coming along with the build, guys. Like I said, there will be a stage 2 on this. Stage 2. Stay tuned for stage 2.
Stage 2 cam.
Don't know when that's going to start.
We've got heaps of other builds to be doing.
Yeah, exactly. So we're still a little bit off, but we'll get there eventually. For now, summer's coming. We're going to enjoy it. Basically use it for what we built it for.
Exactly right.
Kebab runs. So until then, we'll see you later.
Hey, that was fun.
I didn't expect it to bag like that.
I didn't either. When it did it, I was like, damn, Michael.
Yeah, I had to let off. I wanted to keep going. You know I had to drop it with no springs. The funny part is we got halfway through this job and then decided, oh, let's pull the springs back out and see what it looks like if we slam
Yeah, I
it.
know, we had the springs in.
Can't we run it like that?
Oh my god, that looks good.
Can we slam the front as well? Take the springs out?
I hate getting springs out the front.
Yeah, no.